Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a bit of a different video because recently I showed you everything that I knit in 2024 and I thought it would be a lot of fun to just show you everything that I've sewn in 2024 as well. So that is also why today I'm standing before my closet, because I just thought it would be better to just pull out some pieces and show you, instead of just sitting down like I usually do. And before I start showing you all of the pieces, I did quickly want to share some statistics. So this year, or this past year, I have finished 33 pieces of clothing, which is absolutely crazy. I especially made a lot of summer pieces. Sadly, 10 of those items were donated, so only 23 items were actually sewing wins, which is like 70% of what I made. So next year's goal is probably to donate less items, but I will talk about those items probably at the end of this video, because I of course don't have them anymore, and I will just briefly talk about them and why I decided to donate them or sell them, etc. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. So one of the first things that I made this past year was this quilted jacket that I didn't use a pattern for. So this was self-drafted and it's a pretty simple jacket, like it's a fitted jacket, not oversized, with a big round Peter Pan collar that is completely quilted. And I went for like organic quilting lines, which is probably the easiest thing to do because you don't really need to measure out anything. And then I added some crochet circles on there as well that I think are a really fun touch. This is one of the jackets that I like to wear in the spring and summer. So I do wear this one quite a bit. It's not my most worn jacket, but I do like it. I think eventually I'm going to sell this one because my dream quilted jacket is actually a pattern that is not yet released and that I really want to make, which is the Joni jacket by Small Museum Patterns. And that one is just perfect with a big ruffle collar and big pockets and bows in the front, and I would love to eventually replace this jacket with that one. And still, this is a really nice jacket and I don't think I will have difficulty selling this, so it will for sure go to a new and loving home. And then kind of in the same category, this was actually the last thing that I made in 2024, is the little vest that I'm currently wearing. This is the Ruby vest by Sid Graham. This is, I think, my second pattern of hers that I've sewn and I do really love this one. And one of my goals for 2025 is to use more of my fabrics and like especially the leftovers. So I decided to make this little vest where I kind of combined, you know, a bunch of different fabrics. Also this fun gingham on the inside and these little ties in the front. I just think it's a really cute and quilted vest. And you also have some fabric or like a print clashing on the back. And I really like it. So I only made 2 jackets or vests. And now I will be showing you all of the tops that I made. So one of the first tops that I made this year is also one of my favorites. This is the Poly Blouse by Daisy Chain Patterns, which I have made in this really cute and light blue cotton poplin, or like a cotton batiste, which a batiste basically means, or it's like a cotton voile. And it's lighter, it's a little bit more see-through, which I quite actually like for a summer blouse. For me, that is one of the most comfortable materials to wear, especially in the summer. And then this one I again added some crochet to it. And so I've made this crochet upper. Despite loving this blouse and thinking that this is definitely one of my favorites, this one is a little bit too big for me here in the top, but I still wear it and I don't mind this as much because it kind of suits the design as well. But if I ever make it again, which I would like to eventually, don't know if I will ever get to it, but then I will kind of try to make the top part a little bit smaller, because I did already make the smallest size in this. So I don't think that is the most size inclusive pattern ever, but still it's a really nice one. And then the next little blouse that I made is this one. This one is actually self-drafted. And this is a really cute top with a lot of pin tucks. So it has a lot of pin tucks here on the front with these little straps that you can tie into a bow, a nice puff sleeve with an elasticated cuff, which is always my favorite to wear. And then it just flares out, so it is quite open, but I do like it in the summer and you can still wear like a tank top underneath. I think if you wanted to recreate this, there are probably a lot of patterns that have the ties in the front, and then you just have to add more seam allowance to be able to create the pin tucks, and that will also create like the A-line shape on the bottom. So I was thinking about releasing this as a sewing pattern, but honestly, sewing pattern making is not my like real love, so I don't think that is going to happen, but it is, like I said, pretty easy. Then the next blouse that I made is a Eleonora dress or top by Saga Patterns, So this is one that I actually hacked. So the pattern originally is for a dress that has like shirring or smocking in the waist. But as you can see, I skipped that. And I was supposed to just make it like a normal blouse, but it ended up being way too short. So I added this ruffle on the bottom. And I do think this is a really fun little blouse, just a little bit more simple. And it's especially nice just because of the fabric, which is a Dobby cotton fabric. And Dobby just means the little dots that are in here, but I believe in some places they call it plumetti fabric. So if you Google that, you might find something as well. Then since we're talking about the Eleonora dress anyways, I actually made 2 more of that pattern because it's one of my favorites. So this is the original one, the first one that I ever made, that I made in this Indian block print cotton that I absolutely love, because this one is very nice in the summer because it's really light and breathable, but at the same time these colors are great for fall and winter. And in this version I decided to not put the bow in the front or to have any bows or ties in the waist. Then I think other than that it's pretty much made to pattern and I just love it. I made it in the size 34 as with all of these I think, and it's one of my favorites. Silver Saga definitely makes really nice sewing patterns. And then this one I made this past December because I wanted to make something a little bit more fun and festive. So I made this one in a viscose leopard print fabric, and I never sew with viscose actually. It used to be one of my favorite fabrics to sew with, but now I mostly use cotton fabrics. And this one I did add the little tie in the front and at the waist as well, which is how the pattern is intended. And then I decided to lengthen the sleeves to kind of create this bubble sleeve, which is really fun. And then this one is actually a mini length, whilst the other one is a midi length. And then I don't think there are any other modifications to this one. It's just a really nice dress and it's a little bit different for me with the bold print. Then I still made a couple more tops. So one of the first ones is the Catalina top by Cayden Naughton. I was actually a tester for this pattern, which was really fun. So this is how that looks. And this is a really cute pattern or like little top that ties in the front like this. And then it's also actually completely reversible, which I just think is a lot of fun. So you can wear it this way, which is like a sage green block print. But then you can also wear it this way, which is more like lilac. So that kind of matches the little ties that are on the front. This is a really fun pattern. It is a little bit more like revealing than what I usually wear, so it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I do love it. And I actually made 2 of these, and despite not really wearing these ones a lot, I think I will make more of this top because I just think it's so cute and I should just get out of my comfort zone and, you know, start wearing it. So this version I actually made in a denim fabric, this light blue denim. And then I went for a really fun like gingham drawstring. And then the other side, so you can wear it like this, is I think just a vintage quilting type of cotton that I got from a thrift store. So this is a really nice one as well. I made a couple of fit adjustments to this one, so it actually ended up being a little bit too small. So the other one just has a bit too much space at the shoulder because Cayden Naughton is 5'9", so the pattern is drafted for her body and I'm 5'6", so I did have to adjust that in this version, but I didn't do it properly. So now I have one that is slightly too big and then one that is slightly too small. And then this is the final top that I made, and this one is extremely wrinkled, but you can try to ignore that. I will also insert pictures of all of these with how they look if I can find any. And this is the Emma dress or top by Silver Saga Patterns again. I was a tester for this design as well, which I was really happy that I was chosen. So I decided to make a dress, but then I also later made this little top. So this is in a cotton poplin in this beautiful blue floral print that is by Katja. So this was kindly gifted to me, this fabric, which was really exciting. I've never had gifted fabric before. And I didn't make any modifications to this other than just shortening it to make it a really cropped top and adding this cute little lace ribbon in the front. That is very cute. And then this is the original one that I made, which is the dress. And I made this into a mini dress instead of a midi dress because I didn't have enough fabric. And also I think it kind of suits the fabric because it's so light, so it just a very summery dress, you know, with a white background. That is something that I only wear in like July, August, etc. And here you can see just a little bit of the details of the neckline. It's so beautiful and I love these like white straps. Then again, this one has like a bit of like elastic underneath the bust and that just makes it very flattering. And then I do believe, yeah, that this one actually has pockets, which is always nice. I'm not a huge lover of pockets, but they are comfortable. If you're just waiting and standing, then it's nice to have a place for your hands to go. And I just love the details in this dress, the bias binding in the inside. It's just a very beautiful construction, and like I said, I would highly recommend all of the Silver Saga patterns. Then, since I'm talking about dresses anyways, I might as well continue on with the dresses. So here we have another summer dress that I hacked from the Eliott top by Cool Stitches. So again, we have a cotton block print. I was kind of going through like a big part of my fabric stash from my business. So a lot of these block prints, if you're going to ask, all of these block prints are left over from wholesalers. So I sadly did not buy them from like a normal store. But this is one of the things that I made. And I especially love this dress because this is more like of a fancy dress for me. So it's not something that I wear day to day, but I do love it. So I hacked it to be like tied in the front like this, with this big bubble sleeve. So the sleeve is actually completely lined to be like a bubble, which is very popular nowadays, but especially in like skirts and dresses. But it's really easy to do. You just have to make a lining and add elastic, and then you get this like little bubble moment. And then I added like bigger ties in the front to be like my inspiration pick. I don't remember where the inspiration was from, but I saw a dress over on Instagram. I kind of was very inspired by it. And then this one is also a nice midi length, so it's very nice and like easy to wear. Then we have another summer dress, but this one I do keep in my current closet because for me these colors actually transition quite nicely into the fall and winter as well when I just layer it with like a cardigan or a sweater on top. So this is a self-drafted shirt dress. I think I showed a little bit of the process in one of my making vlogs, although I don't remember which one, but if I can find it, I will put it in the description. But this one is just, like I said, a shirt dress. So it's super simple in the bodice with these sleeves with, again, nice and elastic. You can definitely see a theme that I just like things that have like cinching at the waist and a puffy sleeve. Those are my favorite things. And also a big skirt I just love. So this one is very big with the skirt. And I also love this like geometric fabric. This is a cotton poplin, and I'm pretty sure this design is by Nerida Hansen, which makes very beautiful and bold and colorful prints. So if you like this type of print, I would definitely Google that because she has a lot of other nice fabrics. Then we have another super fun dress. Again, this one is also in my current wardrobe because I find it layers very well. So this is the Skyline dress by Sid Graham, and I decided to make this patchwork version because she did a patchwork version and I just fell in love with the pattern because of that. And it's just a really fun pattern to combine like a bunch of different scraps and prints and etc. And then you can also play around with the bias binding, which I have done here with this little gingham bias binding, and I just think it's adorable. And I did do a different bias binding here on the front, and this one also has pockets. This is just a super fun dress, and here you can see a bit of the bottom. It's again a very big and flared dress. I do think I made it slightly wider so I could do more tiers or like gathers because I just love that. And this is one of my favorites, and I do actually have fabric to make it in a plain dress, which is actually this purple one that you see here. So that will be something that I probably make in the summer because I'm trying to use up my fabric stash. Next we have the Harvest Moon dress by Gold and Skye Patterns. Again, I was a tester for this pattern, which was a really fun experience. This dress is a little bit more, I would say like simple, but very elegant in its own way. And I'm just saying simple that it's not like, it doesn't have a dramatic shape or anything, but it's just very classic and stylish, which I really like. So this one has a raglan detail on the top. So the sleeve goes like this. And then some light gathers here, which I think is very nice. Then the button front. And then it also has a optional drawstring in the waist, which is really nice. And then the sleeves kind of gather into a elasticated cuff, but you can also do a regular cuff. Then the skirt can either be like straight or tiered, but I went for a midi length. So mine is just like a regular skirt. Then again, the fabric is just a simple cotton poplin, but this one is in a nice fall floral. So I think this dress is really nice to wear this time of the year. And then we have another dress. This one is one of my most recent makes. It's not one of my favorites. I think eventually maybe this one will be donated. And that is just because I kind of winged it and I was self-drafting this pattern, and sometimes that doesn't go as planned. And this is a perfect example of that. So I wanted to make a little denim pinafore, kind of inspired by Damson Matter, but it just didn't turn out as good as theirs. So mine is actually like very oversized in the top, but too oversized. And then this part on my shoulders is sitting too close together. So it's just very ill-fitting. But when I wear a cardigan on top of it, it's a little bit less noticeable, so that is the only good thing. But I do love is the little embroidery that I did on the denim, because I just think That's a very fun touch. So there's definitely lessons learned here. Maybe one day I will make something similar that will be a nice addition to my wardrobe. But I think eventually I can already tell that this one is probably going to be donated or sold. So that is a little bit sad, but the reality of it. And then the next category that I have are some bottoms. So first of all, I made some skirts. I made one skirt that I'm actually wearing right now, so I can't really show you, but I will talk about it and then just insert a photo. But I made the Doen Skirt dupe, and if you also want to make one, I do have a full video tutorial for how I made this, and it's one of my most worn objects in my closet, and I think I'm going to make some again. This one is white, so it's very stained sadly currently. I'm going to try to wash it today and see if I can get some of the stains out, or else I'm going to have to dye it a different color, which would be a bummer. So this is definitely one of my most favorite makes of 2024. Then another lovely skirt pattern, but that is a little bit less worn by me, is because it has a zipper, is the Saturday skirt by Cayden Naughton. Again, I was a tester for this. So this is a beautiful skirt that has this detail on the top, like kind of like a western detail, and I just think that is gorgeous. So you can really play around with laces. So this is the one that is matching the Emma top, if you noticed earlier. And then it also has a lapped zipper, I believe is how you call it, or like a zipper where there's some fabric on top, which was my first time sewing that. So it was a really fun learning experience. And then other than that, it's just a midi skirt. Definitely made this one a size too small, but I still like it. And then my first version of the skirt, which was the original one, I actually made a bit too large. So I'm kind of in between these sizes, but this is a really beautiful one in this lilac cotton. This is an Indian cotton, so it's very like light. It's definitely also see-through, so I have to wear something underneath, which is not ideal. And this is the second view of the skirt. So here you can see that the top part is different, but now that I have these skirts in my hands again, I'm thinking I should make some again, because this was such a fun pattern to make and actually quite quick and easy to make as well. So I would really recommend this. I just have to find my size like somewhere in between, and I also might hack it to have an elasticated waist just because that is a little bit more comfortable for me. Realistically, I just don't wear zippers from day-to-day life, basically. Then next up we have another pattern that I was actually a pattern tester for. So this is the bow boxer short by Matchy Sewing Club, which looks like this, and this is definitely very on trend for this past summer. So this is in a leftover of that Gotcha cotton poplin that is very beautiful and just super soft and nice to wear. And this has the typical elasticated boxer shorts waistband, but then with these little ties or like bows on the side. So that is just adorable. This is a mid-rise short, and because of that, the fit is not the best on me personally. I definitely need a high rise, so for my next version, I will probably increase the rise and also then make it just a tiny bit longer, because that will be a little bit more comfortable for me to wear. But I do think this is a really nice pattern, and I will make this again like I'm saying now, because I think shorts are nice to wear in the summer, you know, when you just want something quick and easy. Especially with an elasticated waistband, I'm always down for that. So this is also one of my favorites, but just a little bit ill-fitting right now. But they will be perfect for like pajama shorts if I'm in need of any. And then we have actually a few more pairs of pants with one of my favorite sewing patterns that I feel like I talk about in maybe almost every YouTube video that I do on this channel. So yeah, I'm like a broken record at this point, but I have to talk about them because I made them and it's a nice pattern. So this is the Ruffle brunch set by Matchy Sewing Club. Still have not made the blouse ever, but they do have a really nice matching blouse with ties in the front and a puff sleeve. But it comes with beautiful pants that have a ruffle on the hem, and they are the perfect pants for like a brunch, but also to just wear at home, but also to wear to work. You can do anything with these pants. They are very oversized. So this was my first version, which I made in this linen viscose blend. So this one has a beautiful drape, very summer proof in this light colored cream fabric, but they are very oversized. And then they do have this little ruffle on the hem that I love. And I also made the pockets in this one. So these are the baggiest ones that I have. Then I decided to just take some seam allowance away from the side seams and make it again in a pink sandwash cotton, which looks like this. And then this pair I made without the pockets because I don't really use the pockets, to be honest. Like I'm saying earlier, it's mostly if you just want a place for your hands, but other than that, I don't really put anything in my pockets. I have like jackets and my bag for that. So we have this pair, which fits me a little bit better. It's just a little bit more form-fitting. And then we have the ruffle again To be honest, I don't really use the ruffle in the pattern anymore, just make my own because I just think it's a lot easier. And then the final pair that I made, which I made the most recent, are in a beautiful cotton satin. So this one was kind of meant to be like more festive. And this one is in between the size of the cream one and the pink one. And I think this is my favorite one that I've made so far because it's like baggy, but then still oversized, but not too oversized. So it took me a couple of tries to get it perfect, but I do love this pair. And again, we have the beautiful ruffle on the bottom. And these are still looking so nice and crisp because I haven't worn these yet. Because sadly, when I wear tights underneath or like even like the wool type of tights, they really are very static and then they stick to the tights. But they are too thin to wear without them. So I cannot really wear them yet until it gets a little bit warmer. So that's a bit sad. But they are very lovely and I love this green color as well. So those are all of the things that I made in 2024 that I still have in my wardrobe. Then I'm going to talk about all of the things that I've sadly donated since. So one of the first things that I made in 2024 was a pair of pants with crochet on it. I decided to donate those because they didn't fit me properly anymore. Then I also made two Chloe bias skirt by Soften Studio. I think that's a lovely pattern and I really like that they're on the bias with the drawstring waistband. I made two pairs and I just made them too small, so sadly I had to donate those. Then I made a bubble frock top with a matching skirt by Lini and Naomi Patterns. And I really love that pattern and I do think it's a very cute make, but I never wore it, so I just decided to part with it to, somebody that does wear it. Then I also made a top by McCall's, which was the Me 2019, so it's one of the Naomi patterns by Alyssa Threads, whom I absolutely love. But this pattern just was not for me. Like, it looks adorable on her, but it just didn't feel like me. Then also the fabric choice just was way too much. Then I also made a Denim Pinafore earlier in the year and I also donated that because I just felt I wasn't gravitating towards wearing it, and also the fit again was just not something that really, that I really liked. And then another dress that I ended up donating was the Daily Dress by Cayden Naughton, which I was a tester for. I think this is an absolutely gorgeous dress and I do recommend it. The instructions, like the fit, everything was great. I just didn't wear it because I didn't add a zipper, which the pattern also doesn't include instructions for, but just the drawstring on the back. I am never going to haul myself into a dress and do up like a lace up in the back. Like, that is just unrealistic. And I tried and I just didn't think too much about it because I fell in love with the design. But I just gravitate towards things that are comfortable. So like oversized tops and dresses and elasticated everything. So lace up and being tied like a corset just wasn't for me. And then I also recently made a wool coat that I just think is so ugly. It was one of the biggest sewing fails in a year and it was also very hard on my hands. So it was a nice reminder having to work after that my hands were still hurting from making that stupid coat and I don't even like it. So I'm actually still selling that on Vinted. So I might donate that. And I honestly want to forget about this one. So that was everything that I made in 2024. Definitely, like I mentioned, for the next year, I think I wanted to be a little bit more mindful of the things that I made. Like, there are so many wins in the year that I know I'm going to wear for years to come. And I basically want to try to have everything that I make to be a really big win. So just think about the projects more, really try to perfect the fit, maybe even start like toiling some things, which I usually don't do. I usually just start sewing, but it might be a good idea because a lot of the things that ended up being donated were because of the fit or the general style. So the style would be maybe choosing things too impulsively. So those are some of the things that I definitely need to learn from. For now, I wish you all a very happy day, happy sewing, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!